And we're back. How we doing, guys?
All right, take two. We just had a bit of a practice run. So, g'day everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of the Battleforge Gaming Podcast, brought to you by General Games. I'm Background Mike, and as always, I'm joined by BFG Justin,
Tech Wizard
BFG
What's up, guys?
Justin, and our special guest today, Tarantula Minis, otherwise known as Mitch. Welcome, Mitch.
What's going on? How are you?
In case you guys weren't here for the first 5 minutes, Mitch just told us his whole life story, and we're going to get him to repeat the whole thing now. So
It's going to be the best.
I'm actually so grateful we hadn't got to you yet. You would have been talking for whoever let us know that
Was
there's
that
no
Brad?
audio.
Did you say Brad? Thanks,
Yeah,
Brad.
Brad, yeah.
Yeah, he works at Frankston.
yeah.
Thanks,
So
Brad.
it was a simple.
Thanks, brother.
The thanks, brother. The USB was the USB was in the second port instead of the first port.
They'll switch up.
Yeah, and that's all it took.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up for that one. That was all me, guys. So apologies for that. But, we're back at it.
Brad, get back to work,
Don't
Brad.
forget to like, share, and sub, guys, because it does help out the channel an absolute heap.
Yeah, got it covered. Beautiful.
What have you been up to, Mike?
Oh, just stitching us up,
Stitch up.
basically. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do full
Just got
time
to keep
now.
us on our toes, though.
Yeah.
Got to keep us on our
Yeah,
toes.
just check that Brad's watching. That's the
last
main
few
thing.
Get back to work, Brad. What are you doing?
We need Brad. Don't tell Brad to leave.
The last few podcasts have gone way too smooth.
Yeah,
Way too
we're getting too comfortable, I think. That's probably I'm gonna say that's the problem. So, what have you been up to, Justin?
Well, I was just telling the people.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. No one could hear us except for the people in the room. I've been painting my Blood Angels for the battle reports, the eventual battle reports after DreamHack. Been working on some Bot Wars stuff off stream. So I was approached to paint. Yeah, this whole combo we just had. So I was approached by Traders Galaxy, a small Australian company, and they asked me to paint up a single miniature, which I obliged, but I was lucky enough to get sent a whole starter box for the game, Bot Wars 2, which is, very cool. Generation 1 Transformers inspired bots.
I was going to ask Mitch if he knows what Bot Wars is, but I'm pretty sure he knows what Bot
I know
Wars
what
is.
they
He
are.
knows now, yeah. He could have given us the full rundown.
Yeah.
Bot Wars are cool.
So you've been painting those on the side as well.
Yeah, painting there's good guys and bad guys. The good guys are called the Valiants, and the bad guys in this box are called the Coils. The Coils are much easier to paint than the Valiants. The Valiants have got heaps of detail on them for the size of the models. So it's why I chose to stop painting them on stream. I painted one on stream and I'm like, yo, this is pretty hard.
Yeah.
I need this right in front of my eyes so I can see what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, the rest of the time, just battle reports.
Yeah, so ramping up the battle reports, just trying to get that XP in, the very important experience with, I guess, learning our way through doing some educational battle reports, as well as sort of ironing out any kinks that we have with the technical side, like what we just had, but more so in our layouts, because we have got like a cool layout, which I could probably flick over to. People might be able to see it. This is an example of our layouts right here. Bang, right there. That's pretty cool.
So, bag.
Got a little bit of a bag, yeah.
Woolworths bag, that is.
Yeah, the weighted, yeah. So yeah, we're just trying to, as you've made notes because you're the one that's been running the background, and it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, to
make it look seamless and smooth. Yeah, there's a bit going on there.
Yeah, for anyone that's ever run a streaming service like OBS, like the amount of sources that we have in the list is like triple, double, quadruple times what I have for my paint stream. So yeah, it's a heap of work, but we'll get to where we want with it. It's going to always be a work in progress. I think we're going to continually want to just improve. I don't think we're ever going to be 100% settled on the look and the feel for the battle reports. We're always going to want to improve, just like we are with the podcast. So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's a bit of a process, but we got 13 days before DreamHack.
Yeah, man, it felt like yesterday we got asked to participate.
Yeah.
And then I started painting the nids. It doesn't feel like that long ago. Now it's like 2 weeks. So I'm very excited. No nerves, like just genuine excitement.
And everything's been confirmed. So we've got the podcast happening, which is most likely going to be on the Friday. So episode 16.
Can't believe they didn't give us the pole position on Saturday.
Yeah. They probably were thinking they'll be busy doing battle reports, but no, Friday's good. And then Saturday we're pretty freed up, except for hopefully hanging out with a few of the community and at Fortress after the event.
That's right. We've got some pre-drinks.
Post drinks.
Post drinks.
After party.
Yeah, we've got an after party at Fortress for anyone that wants to
Come hang out. Come say hi.
Yep.
And then on the Sunday we've got the panel.
Yeah.
So
the seedy panel could be a little bit hungover for that one.
Yeah, so we'll have a few of the community, some guests that we've had on the podcast, and we talking artists and gamers.
Mitch is
for
coming?
Warhammer.
I'm coming.
He's busy. He's busy that weekend.
Oh, I've got something else on.
Oh, Ark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ark.
Yeah, so we'll definitely
shout out to Ark.
get into that soon.
Hit us back up in the messages.
Yeah, we'll be getting onto that soon. What have you been up to recently? You've had a bit going on as well.
Oh, recently, yes. So I, it's pretty random, the whole story of how it happened.
So I know the story.
Random
but
stories are the best. I don't know the story. So
I've keeping it low key. So
yeah,
this is going to be news to Justin and everyone listening.
That's it.
Is this news you can tell us? Is this actual?
I can tell you.
Can.
This
All
is
right.
I
Cool.
can tell.
Absolutely.
I can tell it straight up. So, it started like all sort of cultivated from like over a year ago. Squidmar Miniatures. So Emil and Lucas, they were here for Ark last year. Shout out to Ark.
Yep.
And I've been watching their videos because I sort of recently got like back into the hobby, probably like for the last maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
Since probably like after 2021. Started watching sort of their videos, seeing they were coming to Melbourne. So I just messaged them and I was like, hey, listen, would you guys be keen to get tattooed while you're here? Should explain I am a tattoo artist as well. I'm not just like a
random guy giving people tattoos.
Come on, man.
You guys are coming to Melbourne, yeah?
Yeah.
I have a tattoo gun.
Yeah. So I was like, listen, I'll tattoo you guys like just for like some painting lessons, you know, because Brad actually, who helped us
with our
with
audio
the tech before. Yeah. He's actually the one who sort of got me back into it as well because he's one of the tattooists down at Frankston. Yeah, so he sort of showed me, like, got me back into it basically. Messaged them and they were like, yeah, sweet. Like, they would love to get tattooed. They were super keen on the idea and had a few Zoom chats with them and with Brad as well. Like, we were both going to tattoo them. And then it just didn't work out because I was away and then their whole trip sort of got stuffed up. And they had to like go a day early or something like that. Right. So we literally missed each other by a day. We sort of like kept in contact a little bit. And then I got a message from Emil like in November, I think. And he basically just pitched me this idea of like coming over to Sweden to basically film a YouTube video with them. So the idea of the video would be based around like them coaching me for a week, like painting miniatures.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the week, there is like on the Friday there, they had the Golden Goblin, which is like their hometown's like painting competition.
Yeah.
Like
so at their local gaming store.
At their local gaming store, yeah. So they were like, if we can take like an amateur painter from amateur to professional basically in a week.
Yeah.
So that was like the whole concept of the video. So
nice.
Yeah.
Guess you have to watch the video to find out. Hey.
Yeah. So it'll be out in the next week or so. So
look out for tarantula minis.
Look out for me in Sweden.
Yeah.
In the snow.
How long?
Yeah, the whole thing was like, it was crazy. I was like, they like asked me to do it initially like that month, and I'm like, well, probably like can't do it
Yeah,
like
it might-
immediately.
Might need
So
a
we
bit more
pushed
of a
it-
lead up.
Yeah, we pushed it back a few months, but I think like the whole process of like just me, like the journey going over there, like flying for like 30 hours to like do this. I don't know if like it's ever really been done before, like something like that. Like, so
It'd be pretty surreal. Like you've
literally
gone,
to go there to do
Yeah.
miniature painting, like it was like the most random side mission of my life.
yeah,
You know, so yeah, it was sick.
yeah. How long did you end up spending in Sweden? Was it just a week?
I was
or-
there for 10 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got there on the Saturday night. Emil picked me up, and then we went back to like where Lucas lives, like sort of like block of apartments sort of thing. And like he took me to my room, and it was like all these like apartment buildings and stuff. And then there was like this like fire closet looked like off the side with a big red door on it. And I was like, oh, that looks like a bit sketchy down there.
Yeah.
And we just kept getting closer and closer to the door. I'm like, oh,
This
no.
is your room.
Yeah. And so we went downstairs. So it was like snow at everything. Like it was like just coming out of winter. So like, and I'd never even been in snow before.
Yeah.
Like, so it was like the whole thing was like so random. And then literally stayed in like this hospital room looking like bedroom for like the week when I was there. But it was sick. Like it was like so good. And like they were they like couldn't have been better as well. Like the first day we got there. So on the Sunday we went ice fishing, which was like
That's pretty sick.
crazy.
Yeah.
So they like literally took me out into the woods.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys
This
give
is
me
it. This is where it ends.
this is like, you guys gonna kill me right now.
Did you,
So
we're not here to paint minis at all, are we?
I was like, what is
I would have
this?
been like, hang on. All right, so I've had my first night's sleep. All right, so I'm going to wake up and we're going to start painting models. They're like, no, we're going to the woods.
We're going into the woods.
You're going to the woods.
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes out as well. It was honestly like, even just doing that, if I had have left, like it would have been an awesome
Were you like,
trip.
are you guys even the same YouTube dudes that I was thinking of?
Yeah, like what is this channel? So yeah, did that. And that night we were all in a hot tub together.
Yeah.
So
How
we got
good.
real crazy.
Don't mention hot tub
So-
on Twitch. That is a trigger word for people in chat.
Is
What's
it?
that? The riot.
Hot
is it?
tub.
Oh yeah, the hot
Yeah,
tub.
they want a hot
streams.
tub stream.
What happened
Yeah.
with that?
No, they just want a hot tub stream.
Yeah.
With you guys?
Yeah.
Well, I was one
We
step ahead of you.
We found the guy.
Yeah, I get in
Maybe
hot
we'll,
tubs.
maybe we'll do a full podcast. From
I get in
hot
hot
tub.
tubs with strangers. That's my thing.
That's your thing now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually did it once. I enjoy it. I'm
see,
doing it.
tiny hot tub when I
Yeah.
told you. It's a trigger word.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yes. So Lucas is like a mad fisherman as well.
Yeah.
And so we caught like a few fish, like went in the hot tub, it was like hot tub, and then like, because it was snow outside everywhere, it was just like hot tub, ice bath sort of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently it's traditional.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Stitch up.
I did it. And then, yeah, so Monday to Friday, we were just pretty much working. So it was like 8 to 5 sort of type thing. So the first 2 days was like coaching on specific things. So we decided at the start of the week that we were going to do the cave squig with the loon boss for our like competition piece. So the first day, Emil did a lesson with me on skin. So we painted a Troggoth, and like he taught me how he would approach it, sort of thing. And then the second day, Lucas gave me an NMM class, and then from that, like
hardcore like a massive crash
this
course.
is heavy stuff. Yeah.
Here's one day
literally.
of non-metallic metal. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, shit.
literally. So and then the 3 days we had after that was just painting the cave squig. And then in between that as well, I was tattooing them after we worked and stuff
really?
like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tattooed the Hobbit house on Lucas' hand.
That's pretty sick.
And then on Emil, I tattooed his inner forearm. We did one of his miniatures from the Champions of Sona.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he's got like a big one, like an owl up the top here, which is one of the other miniatures, and then we've done on the inside. It was like a girl riding a lynx, sort of like big cat, sort of thing. So that was cool.
Yeah. So you're doing, so you're painting all day, and then at the end of the
literally,
day,
and we were tattooing. So it was full on. Like the week was actually full on. But I went by myself as well because like it would have been too hard to do that like with the family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jem for letting me go. Thanks.
Thanks, Jem.
So that's like an outline of basically the week, and like we filmed the whole thing. And yeah, that's I think like with them, a lot of the stuff that they've been trying to do, like I sort of really like, is like trying to do things that are like different from like just specifically miniature painting and stuff like that. It sort of like brings it to like a wider audience.
Yeah, I think I've said to Justin, they really are one of the ones that really bridges the gap between like the hobby and then like the pop culture and they're really entertainers in a way. Like their stuff is very watchable. Like
for sure, yeah. And that's like something that I sort of like relate to as well. That's even like with my page and stuff like that. Like I've sort of been a tattooist for 10 years, and like then like sort of I almost like hid the page for a little bit because like that's one of the reasons why I got out of the hobby at the start, because I was like 14 and I was like, oh, this isn't cool anymore.
Yeah.
And
the
coming back into
around it, like
and like just bridging the gap, because I'm like, hang on, no, like I actually love doing this. Like it's sick.
Yeah.
So like just and even the response that I've got from like people that I've told that I do it now has been like awesome. Everyone's like, it'll either be like, what's that? Or like people will have no idea what it is,
completely clueless.
Or they'll like have some memory of like someone doing it or something like that, and like they're like, oh, that's sick,
Yeah,
something we always chat about, that this hobby is for absolutely everyone at any stage. Like, should never ever be ashamed of it. Just enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah, for sure, and that's definitely like some massive thing that I like have felt in the last few years. Like getting back into it, it's like, I actually like had a real passion for it when I was younger, and I just dropped it because of that.
Yeah.
Like people used to come over, used to like hide it.
Yeah.
Like throw like towel over or something, you know? And now it's like, I would urge people to not be like that.
Yeah. Well, you miss out on however many years of
I know, like I literally
stuff,
didn't do it for probably like 15 years or something, you know? And it's like, I could have been bit better.
Yeah. I mean,
I might have learned to play. Who knows?
Yeah, you'd already have 3 armies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've pretty much segued us perfectly into your origin story. So
yeah, that wasn't even the origin story.
Sorry.
That was the catch up.
No, that's perfect.
That was it. So anyway, what else about Sweden? We ate reindeer.
Yep. Wait,
really?
Cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Not
So they took me out for like restaurants and stuff. The last few nights they actually put me in a nice hotel, which was sick. But yeah, they took us out for dinner and we had like proper reindeer steaks and stuff. And
it was a little bit Joe Rogan podcast. Have you ever tried elk meat?
Hey, we went and hunted them with the knives. And yeah, just they really like, they're the most humble guys as well.
I was about to say, I was like, for real, how, like, what are they like?
They're literally like so genuine. Like, I felt so super comfortable the whole time. Like, they're just really good dudes, you know? Like,
that's cool.
They were so hospitable the whole time, like ate dinner with their families and stuff. And like, you know, I was just like a tattooist from Australia.
Yeah.
Like that could be sketchy. There's probably sketchy ones of us out there.
Oh yeah. There's sketchy Australians out there, I'll tell you.
I can't believe you guys had me on. Like, you know, I could have been crazy.
That's what we were hoping.
Yeah.
This is a Battleforge Game podcast. We let anyone on here.
Okay.
Yeah, we mute the first 5 minutes just to make sure.
Yeah, that's right. That was a safety. That was a safety mute. We pretended it was an accident. That was just to be sure.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
But yeah, and so they just really tried to give me the Swedish experience whilst also doing the teaching me as well, which I really like learnt heaps.
That would have been absolutely hectic, just being taught like that level of painting, those techniques in that shorter space of time would have been.
I can't believe you then, like, your brain would have been exhausted and then you went and tattooed as well. I was like, because like the focus on tattooing is the same, if not more, than the focus on miniatures. Like,
for sure. And I think, like, I think because I was a tattooist as well, like, that definitely helps a lot. Like,
the focus for
painting.
long stretches. Like what's a stretch on a tattoo? Sometimes like you can do 8 hours, can't you?
Yeah, like 8-9 hours. Like, I actually, when I tattooed Emil, I was like, oh yeah, sorry,
no, you're right.
It would probably be like about 4 hours maybe.
Yeah,
and it was like 9.5 hours later, and I was like, oh, like, I'm sorry. Like, just took way longer than I thought it was going to take.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally like
that would have to come down to the detail in the tattoo and stuff.
Yeah,
like
for
that,
sure.
though,
It was like way too detailed. I just like overshot it. I was like, oh yeah, it'll be like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
And he's just like, but yeah, it helped heaps. Like, just because I have like an art background of like focusing every day for a long period of time.
Yeah, you're already
like,
conditioned almost.
Because like when I paint miniatures at home, like like after working all day anyway, like it's a tough, like, to be able to sit there for hours and hours as well. So there was definitely like a bit of conditioning from that, I guess. But yeah, I think even just like sitting down fresh and doing it, it's a completely different experience if you like are just doing it after work.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your eyes are fresh, like.
Yeah, and especially coming into a work environment where that's the full-time job is to do that. It was cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to like know that that's even a full-time job to do.
It's wild.
Fingers
Like-
crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's super
Like-
cool that they were like so thoughtful to show you the Swedish culture and stuff as well.
Yeah,
like,
100%. It was like definitely, it was more than what I expected.
you never
So-
know with guys because they're essentially like huge in the hobby, like, and they're just big on YouTube anyway, like just by any measure. So
Yeah,
they could have been complete jerks, like
yeah,
totally just
Yeah,
up
yeah.
themselves and stuff, like.
yeah,
But
yeah.
to hear you say like how they're humble and stuff like that, like Australians are pretty quick to pull that stuff up. So
Yeah, for sure.
You
And,
would've- yeah, very cool.
yeah, it seems like that they were just like, and they're just like, nerds as well. They're not like
Yeah,
trying to be anything different or whatever.
yeah, they're just who they are. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And it's like they've just done something that is cool and is popular, and that's why they've got followers from it, not because they've like
yeah.
gone for the followers or like
Yeah.
gone
Tried
to
to
try
work
and
an
be
algorithm.
They're not really
something
doing-
then they're not.
They're not necessarily just trying to jump on the next gimmick or
Yeah.
whatever like that.
Yeah, for sure. And they said like one of the videos that they dropped like before I went on there was the one where they it was like painting in a blizzard or anything. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it was like they got told where to paint things. So like Lucas was like painting in a rally car. Like
Oh, really?
painted a miniature in like a rally car and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's like videos like that it actually didn't do that well, like apparently like on the views, but it's videos like that I think can like really like help bridging that gap,
Yeah.
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 Which is what I know
It
that
gets-
they said that they enjoy making that stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Because you can paint, like you can do tutorials like
Yeah.
as much as you want, for
Yeah.
sure, which is still great and it's still a massive part of it. But
Yeah.
bringing it to the wider audience, I think that doing that would be good to see them do more of that.
Absolutely. Like, anything.
But they're
to
also
sort of-
governed by the views too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their video tanking would be like probably like 50,000 views still or something like that. Like it
I
would.
think it was more than that.
Yeah. Well,
But-
there you go. Yeah. Exactly. Like that'd be
Yeah.
like for us. That'd be like, whoa.
For
What?
sure.
What
yeah,
what
and it's all
happened?
perspective, I
What
guess,
did
as
we
well.
do?
But also, like they have 6 staff working on this thing.
No way.
As well, there's like 6 of them that
I mean, yeah.
are involved. It's a pretty big operation.
That's a massive operation because I'm aware of YouTube channels that are completely like enormous as well, and they're only running like 5 or 6 as well. So yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
they're not-
Yeah, and
they're
all the guys as well. They were all awesome too. Like they were involved with
That's cool.
all the fishing and everything with us, and like it was all like a big group. So they're
That's
all
sick.
like super tight.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've touched on it a little bit, but how did you first find Warhammer?
Oh, I was
Just working in the tattoo studio one day and you're like, you know what? I need to be painting smaller
think-
versions of this.
this is sick but tiny.
Yeah.
Nah, so I started painting when I was about 9 or 10, I think. And it was
Art painting or
Warhammer, like miniatures.
really?
Yeah. So it was Lord of the Rings magazines that came with, I don't know if you know, they came with the one miniature or whatever.
Nah, but I think it's similar to what we got
I
now.
recall
They're
that,
like-
yeah.
And it was like a mini like magazine and it taught you how to paint it. And it was like a Games Workshop
Is that
thing, like, and they used to sell them at newsagents.
Yeah, they're sort of doing the same thing
They
now
have-
with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
those at the moment. So they used
Yeah.
to sell those at newsagents, like back when I was in like grade 3 and 4.
I feel
And,
like that's exactly how Heresy for Heretics got started.
There's a lot of people that we've
That's-
spoken to so far across the 15 eps that Lord of the Rings is what has brought them
Yeah.
into Warhammer.
Yeah, yep, for
That's
sure.
crazy.
Yeah, so I was going, and my mum hated it because I went to school in Mount Evelyn, and the only newsagents that we knew did it was in Wandon, and we lived in Moralbach.
Yeah.
So after school, I had to
Go
drive
all
like
the way
an
out.
extra hour, and Mum just hated it. But they would like keep one there for me, like, because they knew that it was like me and my mate Louis, who he sort of got me into it because we love Lord of the Rings, and then just started doing it from there.
That's
and
so good.
yeah, like did it all through probably till I was probably like in high school, and then
Did you end up when you're going? So these magazines, do they release like monthly or
they were
quarterly or something?
monthly. Yeah, they were monthly.
had different
magazines,
miniature each
and they had
time?
a different one every time. Yeah.
Did you
And they
ever?
had like the instructions on like how to paint it on the inside,
just a step
and it was
by
like a
step.
miniature white dwarf
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
Did you progress to the Warhammer like 40k stuff, or did you stick with the
I
magazine?
did like when I got into like I was probably in year 7 in school, and I probably did like I did a few like wood elves, so like fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
And I got the Battle for McCrag box.
Yeah.
As well.
Right.
And I think I like probably painted 3/4 of it, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Was this all painting to just for the sake of painting, or
Just
did you
fun.
you
Yeah.
roll dice ever?
nah, not really. Oh, actually, I very briefly played the Lord of the Rings one. But yeah, I never like learnt properly how to play it. So I would just play the Lord of the Rings version. I think it was like way simpler than 40k.
Yeah.
But yeah, never played. I because I've always been into art. Like,
Yeah.
that was sort of always my thing. So it was either drawing or like painting, and I just like fell into painting minis because it was just like I could do it. Like I did it on my desk. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Just
at
another
night.
outlet for art for you.
Literally, I
Yeah.
just used to sit there and just paint for ages and ages, and I was like, for how young I was, like I was probably like all right for
Yeah.
like how young I was at it.
Well,
Have you
starting-
still got your earlier stuff?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah.
Oh,
I've still got
sick.
everything. So Mum kept it all in a box, and I've got it at my house now. So it's
Have you got some up on your Tarantula Minis page?
I don't think so. I
you
think
should
I've-
chuck some up after this. People would
actually,
be,
you know what I've done? I've got a couple of videos on there where I've like taken ones that I've repainted them.
yeah.
So like a revamp. I did that on like a little Space Marine and like some Tyranids and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's briefly, yeah.
And when did
Well,
you said you kind of fell off after a while?
Yeah, well, as I was saying, like I was always into art, and I was always like the only guy in the art class and stuff like that. But like I wasn't also like into like the super nerdy gamey guys as well. Like I had like, you know, I played footy, like race motocross, like did like all those sorts of things too.
Yeah.
So it sort of like was a bit of a bridge of like
Yeah.
where I was. It was
yeah.
like either like hanging out with people who are full super
clique-
nerdy.
Which clique do you fit in?
You know, yeah, exactly. So like, and when you're that young, it's like all your friends sort of like are just like, you know, I felt a bit embarrassed by like doing it.
Yeah, well, that doesn't fit into the motocross clique, does it? So the motocross guys would be like, "What are you talking about?"
And I was like hectic into motocross as well. Like that was my thing too. So I was like, I had really weird hobbies. Well, not weird, but like different.
Yeah,
you know, like I was sort of in every
like
branch.
polar. Yeah, some of them are like polar opposites.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it wasn't until I really got back into it. Like I would pick it up a couple of times. I'd be like, oh, maybe I'll, like when I was like 15, I was like, oh, maybe I'll like get the box out again and like paint something up. And then I painted like up when I was 15, I painted up all the Mines of Moria goblins. And like that whole like Mines of Moria box, which I still got, which is actually looks like I'm pretty happy with those actually. And then I literally didn't touch it since till 2021 or something. And
I think that's fairly common as well. Like most people that we've spoken to on the podcast tend to get up to the mid to early teens.
Yeah, I think it's probably pretty pretty natural of a thing.
You sort of just develop other interests, and then I mean, as a teenager, you sort of feel like you'd get judged pretty harshly by your other friends in different circles.
Yeah,
which, I mean, if you had your time again, you'd probably look back and you'd think, nah, if they're actually my friends, they probably wouldn't judge me at all. They'd be like, oh, that's cool as.
100%.
Which is pretty much what has happened now, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, you don't think like that at all when you're a kid.
not as a teenager, no.
You know, especially when like
you just want to fit in.
Like jokes and stuff, if they see it, they're like, oh, what's that, you nerd? And that's enough to like turn you off.
Yeah, like, oh, I'll never show them that ever.
Yeah, you're like, oh, they're probably just like having a laugh. Like, you know, now I would say it and it would be like, yeah, sweet. Like whatever. Yeah. But I guess it just took like that bit of time and then slowing down after having a little one as well. So, and now I'm back. I'm into it. And I'm telling everyone about it.
Yeah. You got to be into
and
it.
Everyone at the shop now.
You got to be into it if you're flying to Sweden. I know. I'm like that's a pretty serious commitment.
Better get motivated. So yeah, no, it's been fun. It's just, you know, just casually painting. I don't play. Like I just never learnt how to play really. I'm sort of more into the art side of it anyway. Which is like, that's plenty for me.
I reckon we could somehow manage to make a screen for a Mitch army. Have a battle report with Mitch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got some Daughters of Cain if you want to do Age of Sigmar.
Let's go.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
You can play all the rules. You'll be like you playing yourself though, because you'll be like, oh no,
I'm happy with that. That's the idea behind the battle reports that we do.
It'll be exactly like the Squidmar video. We'll fly you to Marulbark.
Yeah.
And then you'll be here for a week working like
I've got a dodgy room downstairs.
Yeah. We'll get you up at 6 a.m, work you till like 6 at night. Just learning all the rules, every army, every rule.
Let's do it.
For sure.
Sweet. I'll quit my job.
Go to Bonnie
Quit my
job. Brad's in charge now.
Yeah, Brad, brother, you're up.
Nah, that's crazy. So how long would you say you've been back now?
Probably since 2021. So like maybe, I would say like 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah, so it started sort of like way too hard, actually.
What was the catalyst to get you back in?
Brad. So Brad.
What was him?
Brad. It was him because he was like doing it a little bit as well, and I was like, oh, I might pick that up again. I was like, let's go to Warhammer store. So we went to the Warhammer store in Frankston because it's literally just around the corner from my studio.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Very dangerous. And I ended up dropping like $1,300 like straight away. And I was like...
You sound like a Warhammer collector already.
Literally, I've got like the Orcs Combat Patrol box, like all this different stuff. And I forgot how long things take to paint. So it's all just still there.
That's so
good. I painted like hardly anything of what I bought that first time that I went into the store. But I've gotten so much more from there. I've probably got like if you saw my like pile of shame, like you'd probably be pretty impressed.
Pile of potential.
Pile of potential. That's what we call them. I think pile of shame just got way too much negativity attached to it.
It just sounds like a bummer.
Yeah,
yeah.
That right there is just a pile of models that just have so much potential.
Whereas like
just a pile of plastic.
Yeah, if you show someone like you've got all these models, they'll be like, sick. How exciting is that? Like
Yeah.
Whereas you're just like, damn those models.
For sure. And like before like before I did start getting back into it as well, I was into like collecting Pokemon cards as well. So I was doing that for a while.
Also dangerous.
Also very dangerous. Like, but I think I've probably got more Warhammer like spent. So, and I have a lot of Pokemon cards too. So, but I also got into some old Hammer stuff and like buying sealed stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I've got heaps. I've got like every fantasy starter kits like set, like sealed.
What?
Damn. Okay.
That is hot property right now.
Yeah, I've got like heaps of 40k starter sets, like all sealed up. I've got like heaps of.
That's pretty cool.
They're like old resin stuff. Like I just like started buying everything on eBay for some reason.
Do you have a case for them or something?
Yeah, I also got like in my study. There's like a cabinet, like a big cabinet thing, like on display. So yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. I might lose the house.
Yeah, blink twice if you need help. That's sick. That's pretty awesome though. Like as us as like Warhammer fans, like that sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah. So like I just love like nostalgic stuff as well. Like I still play like Pokemon Red occasionally.
Yeah.
Like I'll just reset it and just start.
Yeah, if I somehow could, I probably would too.
Yeah.
So that's just sort of now it's just grown to flying to Sweden to do it.
Yeah.
Going straight to the top.
And then then the next step coming on this podcast as well. So it's like just from here.
Better and better.
I was going to say, yeah. This is going to struggle to go anywhere higher now.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know where you'd go from here.
Hit the ceiling. I think.
But that's wicked. So
it's fun. I'm just having fun. So
did you start up the Tarantula Minis Instagram to sort of document your new journey?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. So it's also like another outlet as well because it's like I have been tattooist for 10 years. Like I've got the tattoo page, Mr. Tarantula.
Yeah.
And just something different to make content and like, you know, filming tattoos every day, which it also inspires me to like put more effort into my tattoo page as well. Cause it's obviously where I make money from. So it's just sort of like a fun thing to do. Then I learn like little tricks from doing that as well. It's sort of, they both complement each other as well, you know? So yeah,
we've had a similar experience, like going across the different social media platforms. You're like, oh, this is kind of working for us on here, and you'll take it over to Instagram or you'll take it over to Twitch, and you're like, okay, you get a bit more polished and a bit more like, I don't know, a bit better with everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
and just reaching a different community too.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to do Warhammer tattoos, I'm down.
Yeah. I was going to say, how many Warhammer tattoos have you done?
I haven't
what are you
done
looking
any.
at me for?
No, so
I'd love to get a full.
I actually haven't done any yet.
But you've got some exciting news on that front though. I saw on your story.
Yes.
I think he's going to be tattooing at Arc.
That's it. Yep.
That's cool.
I'm tattooing at Arc. So
What's the deal? what's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm coming on as like a sponsor for Arc this year as Addicted to Ink. And again, just to like bridge a gap, reach a different type of audience as well. And it's like obviously something that I'm passionate about too. I feel
mixing your work with your passion
for sure. And I feel like if you go down avenues like that, you can't really lose. Like it's just fun, you know, as well. So we're going to be supplying, I think we're going to be supplying them with some new like display cabinets for like the art competition as well, just like as part of our sponsorship. And we're also going to be doing, I'll be helping judge the painting competition as well. And then presenting like some prizes too. So first place prize, there'll be like $500 cash bonus, as well as like an $1,800 tattoo voucher, and second place will be a $500 voucher, and then third place will be $250. So
super cool.
Yeah.
All I can think is just like Justin's being like, do I really need to go to DreamHack?
Well, there's still time to paint a display piece for Arc.
But that's fantastic, man. Like that is some serious incentive to be giving the artists that are painting up models and things like that. So
yeah,
like if anything's going to get the competition level to another level, like
Yeah, for sure.
what you're doing there is one way to do it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And that's I suppose what I like as well is I like seeing cool stuff on Instagram. So like any incentive that's going to make people do better stuff is like that's
You're
good.
about it.
You know, I'm about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's also something like probably what the hobby needs as well. Like, you know, so it is like, you know, this as an event, like I didn't even go to the last one, but I know that it's been running for a long time, and I think to step it up in that way is cool. You know?
Yeah, it just sounds like Ark's going from strength to strength, really, just continuing to grow. So
so for those listening, Ark is going to be in 2 weeks as well, 2 weeks from today.
yeah, but you guys won't be able to see it because you're going to be at DreamHack.
But yeah, it's also Melbourne's biggest 40K event. Actually, just Warhammer event, isn't it? They got Arkmunda, they got Necromunda, they've got Age
I think
of
the
Sigmar.
Arkmunda runs.
Oh, sorry, it's a different.
The guys that run Ark do Arkmunda.
Yeah,
But I think that runs almost quarterly,
yeah, okay.
I believe. It's one of the ones that my friends are trying to get into and wanting me to take my like Van Sar to.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Ark's a fantastic tournament a fantastic event that we wish we could be going to, but unfortunately we're going to be at DreamHack
next year, hopefully.
But this guy
100%.
is going to be there, so
I'll be there. So I'll be doing tattoos. I'll be doing.
What's the deal with the tattoos? People give you a crisp pineapple and then they get like a small little chapter symbol put on their hand.
Basically, yeah. So they'll be doing. So there'll be 150 tattoos, price 150, and then it'll just be like. I'll have a bunch of flash there ready to go, but also if they have ideas or whatever,
just
it's super easy to whip something up. So I'm sure it'll be a lot of that sort of different chapter. I've already had one booking, so
nice,
yeah,
awesome. So
Got one
so
locked in.
people can sort of
You can pre-book, yeah. So if you DM me on tarantula_minis, then you can pre-book a spot. So it'll be it's Saturday, Sunday is Ark, so. Yeah, I'll be there.
It sounds like a good deal. Like honestly, I think you're gonna be booked out.
I'll be there tatting.
Yeah,
I'll be there the whole time. So
that's awesome.
It'll be cool. No, I'm super excited.
It's a cool. I think that'll be like a cool vibe almost to bring to Ark as well, like something different, and it'd be exciting. Like imagine the stories you'll have for like, man, I went to Ark and got tattooed. Like,
yeah,
how crazy is that?
Yeah, so hopefully it's a success.
Will be. Absolutely will be.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. So yeah, that's 2 weeks from today, in Melbourne. So if you're local or if not, fly down.
Fly down.
It's closer than Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're pretty much going to talk now about the main topic of the show, which is the exciting part of having you on as a long-term artist, tattooist, professional tattooist. Basically comparing that to the art and the skills required for Warhammer. So would you say, did you do art? You said you picked up Warhammer up at 9. You said you were sketching before then?
It was always like a hobby of mine, was always drawing.
Yeah.
So I was always like drawing something. You know? I started drawing Pokemon. That's like my thing as well. I was like Pokemon, like love Pokemon. And I've played like every game through since I first got them. So always sketching, and then just came from there, I guess. Yeah.
And compared to the skills you developed through like the early teens when you're painting Warhammer, and now coming back after being a professional tattoo artist for more than a decade, how have you found like was it easier?
Yeah. So it was funny because like I after when I painted my first model, after coming back, it was the best model I'd ever painted.
straight off the bat.
But like it was it's obviously I'd had a massive learning curve in that time, just in art in general. And I think that's one of the things that the boys said as well. In Sweden was like they would just tell me something and I would just know I would do it straight away.
You know what they're talking about straight away.
Yeah, I'd know what they're talking about. So just the knowledge of the art knowledge, like even like the terms and stuff of how they paint, like, you know, contrast, value, like volumes and stuff like that. Like I sort of like inherently know that. So definitely like transferable skills for sure.
Yeah.
And I obviously like tattooing as well, like I'm holding a tattoo machine, and holding a paintbrush is like nothing.
Yeah.
For me. So like I have like pretty good hand control, like steady hand, you know.
So tattooing helped your painting because you came back and painted your best mole ever. Has painting helped your tattooing at all?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things why I have been super pumped to like keep painting as well, is because like when like my style of tattooing as well, it's like quite fine detail. So I tattoo like a lot of like realism, black and grey realism, like sculpture stuff, a lot like Renaissance style artwork. So super fine detail, and like it's almost like a different level of like fine detail is like painting miniatures. So like painting a face that's like the size of a pinhead, and like it just gets easier like when you blow it up. So that's I've been able to also focus like on stuff a bit better, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's giving you more patience almost.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. And I think even just more stamina, like to tattoo. Because if I tattoo all day and then I go home and I paint at night, it's just like you just wrote
non-stop.
Like, 100%. And it's like, you know, if you run far enough, you get better at running.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's like the same if you paint for a long time.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing art for a long time, like it's like realistically it's pretty similar, like body position and everything like that. Like
you're like fully conditioning your wrist too, because the tattoo gun would weigh considerably, like you said, considerably more than the paintbrush.
It's like literally like nothing. Like it's but yeah, it's definitely very transferable. So
how do you find, because you said you do a lot of black and white stuff, which would obviously involve shading and all of that to get your details.
Yeah.
How do you find the color theory? Because you don't you've got a lot more options when it comes to the Warhammer world.
100%. And that's something that I've really loved about it as well, is getting to know color theory a lot more. But one of the things as well is, I think this might be just me, but whenever I draw, I always draw in like color. I've done like big drawings, like all in color, like realistic stuff. So I think like that obviously helps a lot too.
Yeah.
But yeah, having like painting it, like it's just like a new thing to learn as well. I think the thing that I learnt most from the boys is that like they have a process for every single thing, just because they've been doing it for so long. Like that's their like process. They know exactly, like if you're painting like skin on something, then they have an exact process for doing it, and they'll be able to go boom, boom, boom. Like that's how you do it. And like if you don't paint like that full time, like you can just be left like jumping around. And I think that's what I have been doing, is like not knowing a process. So I'll like do this little thing and then I'll just paint over it, and then I'm like, I don't know how to achieve what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's a bit loose. I'll eventually get there, but it takes forever.
Yeah, you get there by like trial and error sort of thing.
Yeah. And yeah, they just like have it so dialed in that it's like it's like second nature, which is like I guess tattooing to me. So it's funny to see like the difference of that, you know.
Yeah, I guess that all comes with, like you said, the experience. Like you've been doing tattooing for X amount of years. I've been doing the miniature painting for X amount of years. You develop those systems. Justin's the same way with his tutorials. It's very clear, step by step type of process, and I think that takes away a lot of the overwhelming or like daunting side of painting a miniature.
100%. Yeah, when I first got into it, coming back, I used to just watch Duncan Rhodes. Like he's actually really good to like get a start to learn how to do it.
Duncan's fantastic. He's fantastic.
He's got a few shout outs on this podcast. For sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Duncan.
Still waiting on those tooth and coat paints from him, but I'm sure they're somewhere, like
they're in the mail.
UK to Australia is pretty far. So.
Yeah. He was good to watch. I used to just like get the exact same miniature that he was painting and just paint it up like step by step. I'd like move the video back to like the part, like keep moving it back. Like
that's pretty cool. Follow along. I've never really,
I literally
his early stuff was very, very good with Games Workshop, and then I don't know, for whatever happened with their contracts and stuff, ended up leaving. But yeah, his Games Workshop work was fantastic for people getting back into the hobby or starting out.
Yeah, especially because like I could just buy the same paints and everything. Like, it was all like used Games Workshop paint, so it was all in one spot.
Yeah,
and
that's what we're trying to achieve. But we've had some people message me like, "That's hundreds of dollars worth of paint," and it's like, yep,
it is.
Yeah, don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to get them.
Yeah,
For sure. No, that was cool as well. Like going there and they just have like the whole Vallejo set of like the racks that you see in like
Getting the racks
every single one. Like, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good setup. But so just started from that, like watching those videos, tutorials and stuff, and then just slowly sort of like started to put my own spin on stuff, and hopefully just getting better.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. By the sounds of your trip to Sweden, I think that sounded like a pretty intensive training session. So.
Yeah, it was good. It was. Do
you think this is going to lead to you entering any painting comps at all?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It would be. It's the thing is, it was 3 full days. Like, if I was to do that realistically now, it would take me months because of how little time I have.
Yeah.
In regular life, like doing that like that, like you could do it if I took a full week off work to do it. Or, or something like that. But realistically, like, you'd be doing it for like an hour a night, maybe. And
So how regularly are you painting now? Because you said you've got a young daughter.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So I definitely try and get it like a couple hours 3 times a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like 6 hours a week. Like try for. And then like on a Sunday, maybe, if I've got nothing to do.
How often are you finding the models are taking you?
I'm getting quicker. That's the thing that, like, I think with those processes in place, like, and like learning how to do things, like, you get faster at doing it.
Yeah. You're more certain. You just go straight on.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, maybe.
yeah, that's it. But still takes ages.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had Maddie's Minis on recently, and he sort of paints to an extremely high level. If you've seen his stuff, it's amazing. And he was saying he only gets sometimes half an hour a day or something like that, and he just keeps chipping away at it. So I think it's really cool to hear it, because people are managing to fit this into busy lives and only paint a little bit here, a little bit there, and still getting amazing results. So yourself, you've got a young family, you're running businesses, like there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely always late into the night too. So
but you make the time to do it.
Exactly, that's it. And
there's a lot of people that are like, I don't have the time to paint models, and it's like,
you do.
You definitely
do. You're just lazy.
You got to make that. You got to make that time. Like, there's when you nut things out and you're really truthful to yourself, like, how busy are you? Are you that busy that you can't pick a brush up?
Yeah.
Like once every 3 days to do a bit of painting?
Yeah.
Because if you can't, then wow, you must be living it life. Like, you're making a Tesla rocket to fly to the moon, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But Elon Musk still finds time to play Elden Ring. So you can paint your models. You can. Just set aside some time. Like
100%. Even like getting up early, like get up early and paint before you have to leave for work. Like, I find painting in the morning is actually better. You're more switched on. Like, I find myself more switched on in the morning. Which I've done that before. Like, and I feel like I feel like sometimes I'm doing it because I know that I should be doing it as well. Okay. Not even just for fun. It's like, I like,
you want to keep it up. You want to keep it up to keep the ball rolling.
When I do something, I sort of like want to get good at it.
Yeah, you still enjoy it.
I'm enjoying it too, but I'm also like, I need to get this finished. Like, and I'm like, for no reason. It's like I'm not. There's no reason I need to finish this, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's good. I think it's good to have that mentality though, because you can easily be like, oh, it can be done tomorrow. It's like anything. You can put anything off technically, but you shouldn't.
Yeah,
You'll never get anything done that way.
for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you found yourself, because as artists and as tattooists, I'm very aware that there's people with definitive or very unique styles. Have you found yourself leaning towards a particular style that you really like?
I got a question with this question as well. Who was your mate that helped us with the audio? Brad. Is Brad, so Brad's tattooing compared to yours, not that Brad's on the podcast, but Brad's tattooing compared to yours.
Yep.
Style wise.
Yep.
And then both your painting, like tying onto yours. Like
that's interesting.
Where are you guys both at in terms of like your painting and your paint style?
Yeah, okay. So he's paints a lot of Space Marines.
Yeah.
He's on there.
I'll be booking him with Brad then. I'd take it.
Yeah. So Brad, his tattooing is like, he does a lot of like Chicano style stuff. So like, I don't know if you know that. It's like
I've got no idea what that word is.
It's like Mexican sort of gangster.
The LA street stuff.
Yeah, with the face paint and stuff like that. And he has a lot of color in there as well.
The dead type of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. Very like saturated as well. And like smooth shading. And he likes adding color in as well.
He's an heavy metal man, isn't he? Paints heavy metal.
He does like to chip it up a bit too. Get some
BA all the way.
Get some weathering on there. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes weathering as well. He's done some really nice Imperial Fist too.
It's probably like a heresy style then. Bit of weathering, little bit of edge highlighting.
Yeah, so we definitely
Kieran-esque.
That's what I was thinking.
It's funny because we did start sort of around a similar time, and it's funny to see like we have got very different styles of painting.
Yeah,
as well.
It's a fantastic thing about the hobby. So good.
Yeah. Like we could have like painted next to each other the whole time and still had stuff that looked nothing alike.
That's what I was curious about, because everyone, I like you get the one kind of set of instructions when you first start the hobby. It's just like paint it to look like the box.
Yeah.
But then now,
let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes now.
I'm just saying that's one path. But now that it's like there's so many different arts and artists coming into the hobby, there's all these different styles, like almost like a realism style, NMM, and there's guys doing
like the heavy OSL.
Let's not
stuff.
even start with the guys from Europe that have just got their own crazy ass thing that I don't even know how they do it.
But yeah, it's really cool to have that now, and you start recognizing people's models.
Yeah, without on Instagram.
Yeah, so like like I could look at a tattoo and say Brad did that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure it's the same for you. And like Kieran put up a post.
Got Kieran stuff, Kieran
put up a post recently, and I was like, I didn't even see like Raptor Imperial, so I'm just like, that's Kieran. Yeah, I'll share that. Yeah, I don't know who that is. No, but yeah, it's really cool to see that in the hobby, I think, because it'll grow the hobby as well, and then it also means like, I don't know, there's going to be really interesting stuff out there. And like you said, with the painting competitions, you just want to see cool stuff. And I'm like, that's me. I just want to see people do cool stuff. It could be something completely out of left field.
Yeah.
I love that imagination side.
Yeah. I just like seeing stuff and go, how did they do that?
Yeah.
That is sick. Like, yeah. And it's like, I would never be able to do that, or I would never think to do that.
Yeah. That's the thing that gets me is like, sometimes it's even a really simple method, and you're like, I would never have thought of that to get that effect.
Yeah. In the most, it's probably not recent anymore. It probably would have been the past 3 or 4 years. I forget who pioneered it, but one person did the sort of reverse plasma coil, where it's the darker coil and with the white inks down the bottom of the plasma coils, and now everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
So someone pioneered that. I don't even know who it was.
I'm pretty sure someone commented on one of your videos and told you to do that as well.
Oh, on my plasma coils?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yep.
On how to paint plasma?
Yeah.
So you're doing it wrong, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm doing my style of my own plasma wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think early on I saw Zenith Miniatures do it, and I think ever since then, so many people just
Yeah. There's
been
some really,
inspired by it.
but yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming out, and some people just jump on it because it's new and different. But I just like, it's nice to have the diversity going on. Like, I just want to see different stuff and cool stuff. So
Has having people around you that are painting help keep you motivated to paint? Do you think it's that whole the 5 people you surround yourself is who you sort of become type of deal?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Like bouncing stuff off each other, like definitely. Because like when I was first doing it, like I started with my mate, like when I was like 9, and then he sort of stopped doing it like pretty quickly. So I was sort of doing it by myself for like a few years, you know. So not really like having anyone to bounce off. So coming back into it, like actually talking about it and like sort of getting like more serious about the painting stuff, like that was pretty cool. Definitely.
yeah,
And there's other tattooists as well, actually, that since I've started the page, like other artists have been like, oh, I do that too. Like, you know, I've had like heaps of people like message and say, that's sick. Like I still do that as well. Like, there's other tattooists from Adelaide, White Raven Hobbies is his Instagram. He's a really good painter who's also another tattooist. And yeah, it's cool to like see that like come out, you know, because it's like it's sort of back to the thing where it's like if I'm the one like saying it, like I've got the page for it, and like other people are seeing it who also know me from tattooing.
yeah,
They're like, oh, that's sick, and then they sort of like get involved in it again, or if they like, you know, feel like
yeah.
all right about it.
Yeah, you're influencing the people around you. Like Justin's had it as well. Like he's got people excited about the hobby from watching his paint stream, and then those people have got people excited about the hobby from their excitement from Justin. So it's just like,
that's that's what it's all about.
I think I coined it as like secondhand friggin'.
What's that? Sorry, I was distracted by Twitch for a minute.
No, that's all right. But
Motivating people?
yeah, the secondhand motivation. Like you're motivating people who are then motivating others.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, we always make an example of Tiny. Tiny's brother wants to paint more because Tiny started painting ever since he started watching
even
Twitch.
recently with Mark.
Yeah.
Mark and
Mark's
Isabel.
brother, yeah. So good.
So and yourself in your circles as well, like the same things happening.
Yeah, like I paint with my daughter, and like she's 2.
Yeah,
like, she was 1 when we started, and yeah, it's funny. She just copies me. Like she can really like hold the. I give her like the little Games Workshop handle and stuff, and like she can properly like focus in on like small detail, which is like I don't know if it's like normal or not, but
no, it's not.
Pretty cool.
It is definitely not normal.
Yeah.
There's people that are like, you know, mid-20s that can't do that.
Yeah.
Early 30s as well.
I've seen Mike paint. Shit.
I'll show you videos of it later. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you've got one clip on the tarantula minis at least. Yeah. But that's so good that you're getting your daughter into it as well. Like what an awesome hobby for a kid. Like,
for sure.
To come up with.
Yeah, 100%.
Imagine how good she's going to be. Weapon.
I know.
There needs to be some sort of
Golden Demon.
There needs to be some sort of tattooist / Warhammer like duel competition. You got to do a tattoo piece and then
I was going to say, are you
model.
thinking like a decathlon where you do like both?
Yeah. No, I was thinking more like a painting competition except with a tattoo and a model.
Yeah, okay.
Tattooing a model.
Oh,
I don't know. Now we're getting into some territory here.
Yeah,
maybe it's a thing. Maybe we can do it at Arc.
It's definitely a YouTube video worth for sure.
Where should we fly? Antarctica,
Tasmania.
Oh no, but yeah, I think it's very cool. I feel like it's so funny because you mentioned it a little bit. Like tattooists aren't exactly who you expect to be your regular Warhammer hobbyists.
Yeah.
But like there is no hard line around who hobbies.
Yeah. No, there sort of used to be.
Yeah.
In a way, all who spoke about it.
I was gonna say that's them like almost themselves like controlling it. Like I'm not gonna say I'm a Warhammer hobbyist, even though I really want to do it, like sort of thing. And I would have been the same. Like I stopped before it got to that point with me, but I would have been the same. I got to 15, I would have been like, I'm not gonna tell anyone
I
Did I
think
hobby?
if
Yeah.
I hobbied when I was younger, because I picked up when I was 28, so I was a bit older. I think if I had hobbied, because I used to play Pokemon as well, and I would take my Game Boy to cricket and play Pokemon at cricket. I think if I hobbied whilst I was playing cricket, people would know. I would probably be painting models at cricket.
Yeah. You would have been a terrible fielder.
No, I've always been a very good fielder. Not at cricket, not while it's happening. Can't do it while it's happening. Hold up, mate. I can't face this ball. I'm just doing the eyes.
Yeah. But did you find when you came back, so 3 years ago, did you still have that, like, I don't know, nervousness or apprehension at all about telling
Definitely at the start. I
Yeah.
did.
Didn't want to tell the missus. You're like,
No,
I've got
I
something.
told her.
You're trying to
We-
hide that.
yeah, we're gonna-
What's going on in the
$1,300.
study?
yeah, we need to sit down.
Nothing.
We need to have a chat.
Yeah.
You're listening to weird YouTube videos. There was a little bit, yeah, for sure, at the start. And then I think Brad made his page first, maybe. And I was like, sweet, I'll make one too. And then I just like accidentally posted a miniature on my tattoo page one time. And then I was like, shit.
He got
All
more
right.
likes than the tats, and he's like,
The
oh,
jury's
okay,
out.
there
All
we go.
right. And then I just like took off from there pretty much. Like, yeah. Well, it didn't really take off. I've got like 1,200 followers, but it's
No,
like
it's-
not like,
Yeah.
you know, it's, I'd promoted it, you know,
Yeah.
on my other page, and I sort of like cross promote them now
Yeah.
a little bit too. So
Well,
I had
wait for
heaps
that.
of people like come over on, and like, it's funny, like people that follow me from tattooing, like that you just wouldn't expect to like be following that
Yeah.
miniature page, which wouldn't have ever followed a miniature page if it wasn't for me having one.
Wait
Yeah.
for
Which is
the
funny.
Squigmar video for it to. Well, I mean, you get a few followers from Squigmar, but then this one will drop on YouTube, and then it'll just
This will be the fucking
Skyrocket.
zenith.
skyrocket.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
You'll
be,
be-
I'll be emceeing Golden Demon next year.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you'll be hosting us on your podcast. It'll be that's gonna be cool as. And yeah, I think it's super funny because, well, I think you get to a certain point and you're like, you know what, I would rather do this than worry about what anyone else thinks of.
I think, yeah, the older and the wiser and the more experience you get, you just start to be like, you know what? I enjoy what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And if other people aren't down with that, then that's their problem.
Yeah.
It really is.
And in reality, no one has a problem with it.
No,
Like,
they don't.
Everyone's
that's the thing.
Everyone's
Yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
supportive.
And if they do, it says more about them as a person than it does you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. And that's something that you learn like as you get older.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't know that at all when you're a kid. So
Nah, you know very little.
yeah, very little.
Yeah.
Mate, I was 24 and I didn't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But yeah, no, it's been good.
yeah.
Been loving it.
I think there's also like an appreciation for the hobby, even if you're not into the hobby as well, to a degree. Like you said, like you had people following Tarantula Minis. They're like, they may not even be that into Warhammer, but they see it and they're like, oh, that's actually sick anyway. Like,
Yeah.
That's just cool. I want to see more of that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and same with the Squidmar guys. Like,
Art's art, right?
Yeah.
It all crosses over.
art's art,
yeah,
entertainment's
just a massive
entertainment.
field.
And
like-
yeah, Emil's got a background in like photography as well. Like a really like he had like a photography business for like 10 years
Yeah.
before that, and he has like that's like a whole other type of art, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's all just under the same banner, really.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
absolutely. Yeah. Do you see it as like a different hobby for you, like as opposed to your art, or do you just see an extension of your love of art?
It definitely, like the painting side of it definitely is, but what you end up with is like another thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, actually the process of painting them is sick, but like people just see the models and like you just end up with a bunch of models. And
Yeah.
you're like, cool, what do I do with them now? Like, I'm just going to put them on display.
Play battle reports.
Yeah.
I mean, playing games with them, sick. Having them on display is just as good. Like people, you got to think people have all types of stuff where they put them on display. Like
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, I think the more I don't know where I'm going with it, but yeah, display your models. If you're not into gaming with your models and you just want to paint them and you're proud of them, you should 100%.
I look at it
display
almost
them.
like if you're just doing the painting side of it, it's kind of like creating your own little one-off collectible. Like
Yeah.
you go buy down the store, you buy like an action figure or a collectible or whatever. This is actually one you've put like blood, sweat, and tears into.
Yeah.
And it's a unique one that you'll have forever. Like as long as you use Tamiya TS80
flat
clear varnish.
For sure.
That touches a little bit on the commissions we've had before. So we had Naz on talking about how she got approached, and we were like, should have confidence in your ability. People are approaching you for your specific piece. It'd be like a tattoo. People coming to you for a tattoo because they want a tattoo from Mitch.
Yeah.
And that was like a Maddie's Minis, like.
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of why I thought about that with the tattoo, the commission side of Warhammer hobby, is the clients or the customers that are coming up to you for a commission, they've done their research. They know who you are. It's the same thing if you're going
most of the time they've done it. Because I got a message on TikTok once saying, how much the base coat the Leviathan box?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not your dude. Yeah, I'm not going to block in the colours of your Leviathan models, mate.
You should have been like $100 and then just got spray paint from like a hardware store and just gone. Done.
No, he meant like all three colours.
Oh yeah, three colours base paint.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think as well about like commissions and stuff like that is that that's like another reason why I like wanted to like sort of sponsor the ARC and stuff is like I think that should be more value on it, you know, because like it's not worth it. Like it's almost from what, you know, unless you're like already like for like a, I don't know. It's like, it seems like you don't get enough for like
as a commission
painter.
Yeah. I think it's just
just the supply and demand, I guess, for it.
Yeah. And just like, just the understanding of what's involved, the amount of time and the skill involved. Like you've got 10 years of painting, you got 10 years of doing tattoos.
Yeah.
A person that's done it for 1 year isn't going to have the skill you've had. So hence,
for sure,
there's going to be a difference.
But what's the most that you would pay for a commission?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I personally wouldn't because I don't need a commission job, but I completely understand how we'll reference Siege Studios because one day they're going to have a crossover podcast with us. But I use Siege Studios as an example all the time. A housemate Lockie got a quote for Leviathan Dread, so a big chunky dread, size of a Redemptor. He got a quote for their highest paid commission and it was like $5,000. So I think on average that model would take about 100 hours. So it would be like $50 an hour, but that's including building and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, that's reasonable. When you break it down in terms of like an hourly rate for a skilled trade, like
100%. Yeah.
Now,
but who's paying that?
Like their elite level painter.
Yeah.
Like who's got
who's paying that?
There's people out there that would pay it.
But I think
but like in terms of it, like there's a price point for everyone.
Yeah.
When
I suppose, yeah.
When I go and look at buying a car, I look at buying a car that I can afford. I don't look at a Ferrari because I know I can't afford a Ferrari.
Yeah.
So you don't look at the Siege Studios top level commission job unless that's something you can afford.
For sure.
So like Henry Cavill, for example, could be like, I want Siege to paint my whole custodian army to their top level because he can afford that. Not everyone can afford the top level commission. And I think people need to have that in the back of their mind when they're looking for a commission too. You're not going to get the best job ever and pay peanuts for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what you were kind of asking as well, though, is what share of the people looking for a commission are accepting to pay that much. Whereas like with tattooing, for example, like if I go into a tattoo studio and someone's like, this tattoo's $1,200, $1,500, $2,000, I'm not going to be like, but my mate said he's got a tattoo gun off eBay and he can do it for like the cost of the ink.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like...
It probably is a little bit more supply and demand. Not everyone can pick a tattoo gun up and tattoo. Everyone can pick a brush up.
And I guess...
I grew up in a fun place where they did do that. I know. I got a ton of mates that have like smiley faces
people can do smiley faces, but like...
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you know like how to use a flash, like there's people that would have a crack at it, which is the same as people that would have a crack at commissions.
Yeah, and I think it's at the same time tattooing. You're expected to have somewhat of an idea. Okay, this is probably going to cost me X amount. right? Or you get a quote up front. Like you go in with the idea that a tattoo is going to be expensive if you're wanting like a certain.
Yeah.
Whereas a commission, I think people don't have that sort of expectation going in. Which sort of, you know, if people are wanting commissions, hopefully changes somewhere along the line.
I think it has to change because there's like artists on there on Instagram that do really unique styles, and it's just like you can't expect that dude to do. If you wanted an army in that style, you can't expect that to be like the price of the models.
Yeah, well,
like, it's crazy.
I spend 50 hours on a hero model. I know what my time's worth. Whether or not someone wants to pay that, that's another story. If you don't want to pay it, then you're not my client.
And even that guy that complained about how many paints you used in your tutorial. It's like, if you're getting a commission, you don't have to pay for those paints, bro. The artist already has that. Yeah. That's already included in the price. Like you're not doing that. Same with a tattoo. Like I don't go into a tattoo joint and be like, oh, do I bring my own gun or what? How does this work?
So how much ink do I bring?
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. And I think that like going back to like bringing it to a broader audience and stuff like that and like bridging the gaps between like other industries and that, the more people that know about it, the more types of people are going to be involved in it. And then like, I guess the more opportunity there will be for people paying more money for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And that's sort of like, I sort of always think like a bit business minded on stuff too. And like, I think that like, yeah, that would be cool to see, you know, like more people like come into it and start to like appreciate the painters more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Like, and
because like I see people like do like, you know, if they do like 50 hours on a commission and it's like a $300 piece or something like that, it's like not worth it. You know, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's just like growing it as a whole.
Totally.
Like stuff like that. Like with anything, like the more people that know, like the more people are not going to be able to paint because they just found out about it.
Yeah.
So they're going to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tiny, thank you very much for sharing Mitch's Instagram page in the chat too.
Thanks, Tiny.
Tarantula Minis.
He's a dude.
But yeah, so it is about like growing that popularity, growing the whole community so that there's more opportunities for people out there. And yeah, I think that'll happen with time. People like yourself, you know, sponsoring ARC to try and grow it and sort of light a fire under people to put in their best work and push themselves.
It does feel like this hobby is sort of on the cusp of
it's feeling like
potentially like it blowing up a bit.
I'm feeling like that definitely as well. Like coming back into it and like it's blown up like since 2020, obviously since COVID. Like
the perfect COVID outlet,
yeah, it's been massive since then, and then hopefully Henry pulls through and does something sick.
Yeah, I'd say will.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Which, like, honestly, I think if that happens and it lands, like, I think like the Warhammer whole IP is like one of the most insane ones as far as like
the fact they've kept it all in house.
But like everyone knows what Lord of the Rings is.
Yeah,
but this like as like a thing is like way bigger than it.
It's also very hard to produce that storyline.
I know. That's the only thing that's like really hard because there's like a million storylines and a million different like ways to do it. That
have you found yourself getting into any of the lore or anything like that? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely like the lore videos and stuff. Like,
yeah.
That's like a nightly like listen to.
Helps fuel the inspiration for painting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, it's just interesting. Like, just sick. Like, whatever I'm painting, like at that time, like I'll like listen to the lore video of like what I'm painting.
That'd get you into it. I remember
it gets me right into it.
I would listen to audio books that weren't aligned with what I was painting. So I was listening to like
How to soothe your brain.
It might have been like Betrayal on Calth or something. I was painting Blood Angels and it was about word bearers, and it was these guys that were like deep under the earth, like searching for voices to find like demons, and it was sort of around when the first possessed Marines were around, and I was like, man, word bearers are sick.
Yeah.
Like they cop so much flack because of some of the dudes in the story about like essentially you know, causing the heresy, but I was like, this story is just so cool. And there was like the first ever tainted dreadnought, which was called a Marigal, and there was just like cultists surrounding it and like making like human sacrifices to like essentially put a demon inside a dreadnought. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. I want to paint word bearers. And then I was like, must stick to Blood Angels.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that there's like just like little snippets like that. Like if that was like a scene in a movie, like everyone would know about it.
Yeah.
And I think like if they did do it properly, like I think that Warhammer fans would probably be upset with what they make, but everyone else will have to love it. It's got to be like more broad. Like I think if they did it to that standard,
Yeah,
like,
I think first and foremost, they need to try and hit that mark to try and please those fans. But like you said, it's very hard. It's hard to please everyone. You need to please those initial fans of Warhammer, which will then increase
they'll
that popularity.
spread it for sure.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It's like a fine line too.
Yeah,
It can't be like too involved where it's like
you need
they
all this
know
backstory.
Yeah, you need so much backstory, or you can just watch it and know what's happening.
Yeah, got to get that decent Rotten Tomatoes score, and then
Yeah,
it'll go from there.
Yeah, I don't know how you introduce people to the universe. Like it's
Well, we're going to
gotta
find out
be-
with Henry. Like his is going to be very.
you reckon he'll be Gilliman?
Nah, he's Inquisitor.
Oh,
It's going to be about the Inquisitor. I forget who. Someone will say it. Someone will say it in chat. But it's going to be about Inquisitors. So
yeah, okay.
it's going to be very sort of street level. I'm assuming they might be going after some gene stealers or something along those lines.
Yeah, that could be.
It won't be anything huge with Marines, I wouldn't think yet.
yeah.
But yeah,
One
an
Marine
Inquisitor.
comes down at
Yeah,
the end
at the
or
end,
something
maybe,
like
yeah.
that. That could be sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? It's a series. Yeah.
I think it's a series. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Be very exciting. Yeah. What do you paint if you're you're not painting armies, you're sort of painting one-offs? I've seen you paint a few orcs and things like that.
Yeah, I painted orcs. I'm sort of like almost like working on little armies, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'll paint like a random
Is there
like
an
typhus or
is there an
something.
aesthetic that you go towards? Because like your paint style for me, I was looking at your stuff and typhus just seemed like the perfect model for like your paint style that you sort of.
Yeah, so like I think when I paint 40k, I'll go like a bit more grimy and like sort of, I don't know, like I'll use true metallics and like washes and stuff like that. But when I'm painting Age of Sigmar or fantasy, I'll try and do like poppy, bright NMM stuff for some reason. I don't know why.
Just to mix it up.
Yeah, like bright skin and stuff, and yeah, I don't know really. Like it's just a bit of a mixed bag, like with whatever. And then if I'm doing like Nurgle stuff, like I painted like a few Nurgle, Blight Lords and stuff like that, I'll go back to the metallic stuff and like synth wavy skin. So I'm literally all over the shop. I feel like I painted like a 2nd edition Space Marine Blood Angel just in full heavy metal style like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just for fun. Like I just wanted to try it out. Like, so I think I'm just like still having fun with just like picking up new stuff because I haven't done everything yet. Like just by, and it's funny because it seems like it's a long time, like doing it for 3 years. Like it seems like you would get a lot done, but you just like, because it's Warhammer, like you hardly finish anything.
Yeah. It just takes time.
It takes ages, you know, and especially painting like how I paint as well, like an hour a night. Like you don't get a lot of stuff done. So I still have a lot of stuff that I want to try as well. And then you just walk into the game store and you're like, oh, that looks cool. I'll buy it. And then it'll just sit there on the shelf. Like everyone does.
Are you getting tempted by all the new releases they're doing? Because they're doing lots of new releases
all the time.
and stuff. Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They didn't used to have that. It was like,
well, that's what I was thinking.
you'd have to wait months before you got anything. So, but now it's like, it's every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah. Every Saturday. Have a look. I had a look today, actually.
Yeah.
What did they have? Some Dark Angels.
Yeah.
New.
Yeah, the Dark Angel. Yeah, that's right.
Model of the month right now, Deathwing Knight.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to grab it, actually.
I
forgot to grab it and build it and look at it.
Yeah.
On the way home.
I've got one ready for tutorial, so I don't need to use one of the the 5 box that I've got.
Oh,
I can paint that full box as Blood Angels and have a big 10-man block.
did you grab the model of the month?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So good.
You use it for a tutorial for sure.
Fantastic. Got any questions coming through on Twitch?
Nah, it's just Tiny talking about his dream hack
Oh yeah,
models that he's getting ready.
exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's next for you? Flights
For
to
me?
Chile or South
Who
America or
knows?
something?
Who knows where I'm going to go next?
Just-
If anyone wants to film a video,
yeah,
with
you're,
a nobody,
Sounds like all you have to do is drop in their DMs. Just get one of those Spanish
all you have to do
Spanish painters and just be like,
El Miniaturista,
Oh,
whatever. his name
yeah,
is.
don't even
He's a
start.
fave at the moment.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
He's blown up on Instagram.
Yeah, no wonder though.
So some crazy effects.
Yeah, just message him. Just be like, "What's up, man? You want some ink?
Hey mate.
Just fly me to Spain."
yeah.
So,
Maybe you could go to a no retreat with the SN Battle Report guys and do some tattooing on a cruise boat down Gibraltar.
see all these ideas. Like there's so much stuff you could do.
The world's your oyster with
It
with
is. It
Warhammer.
really is. Yeah. I don't know. I think like I like just chipping away on the Instagram. I'd like to do some like more content stuff as well with it.
Yeah, you enjoy that side of it.
I do like it. Like I just feel like I don't really know where to start with it and stuff like that. But I think you just have to start it. Hey?
I was gonna say,
Just have
well,
to
you've seen-
start it
you've
and
seen,
just make a couple of bad videos and then
Yeah, you've seen some of the best sort of at work.
I know.
so
Like yeah. So
it's a
I've
good,
got a leg up.
yeah, it's a good insight into the whole thing because, like, same with us with starting, you don't really know who to ask. A lot of the time, you could just DM people and they'll help out as well.
Yeah, I think you more so get in your own head about being like, oh man, like the worst thing that can happen is the person's going to just reply back, "No, I can't, sorry,"
yeah,
or you just don't get message back.
yeah.
Oh.
You just- you don't get
Yikes.
message back, but yeah, I think you just reach out to people and just be like, "Hey,
yeah.
you want to come on the Battle Forge Gaming podcast?"
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Tarantula Podcasts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Oh,
The spider's web. In the spider. Oh,
There you
you're
go.
onto
well,
something.
don't give it away. No, this is all
already
good
got
stuff.
already got a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Welcome to
spider's web.
spider's web.
Yeah.
Let's catch you up. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, no, don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still filming. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think just keep painting and keep tattooing.
Yep. And then a big weekend at Arc. And
Big weekend at Arc, and then just keep flying the flag.
Yeah.
Flying the Warhammer flag.
Absolutely. A fantastic ambassador for us.
That's it.
For Warhammer. So that's what we're about. We're just trying to grow the community and, you know, keep everyone excited about it because
Yeah.
it's such a great hobby. And honestly, like this whole journey we've been on has been so much fun. And it sounds like you're having a pretty good time as well. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. That pretty
It's only
much.
like what 15 eps in, are we? And
Yeah.
and it still feels like we've only just begun our journey as well.
yeah, it's came up pretty quick. So
Yeah,
yeah, very
it's awesome to see. It's like local guys doing it. As
Yeah,
well.
oh, I couldn't
At
believe
least I
you
didn't
just,
have to fly to Melbourne for this.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, we couldn't believe you're just sort of down the road from
yeah, I
us.
know. It's
so-
like so random, but no, I think Melbourne as well. Like as a city, like it's pretty good, like art culture and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm
Like,
putting it out there. We've got the best painters in Vic.
yeah, 100%, and best artists as well.
yeah, it's like
tattooists,
a whole
like, as well. Like the scene here is really big for like arty stuff, so
Yeah.
it's a perfect place to pop it off
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So he's doing a good job.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Likewise. That pretty much brings us to the end.
Yep.
I think
Do you have an outro phrase?
No, not really.
No.
I've got one for my paint streams, but I don't use it here.
I was gonna say we'll catch you next time, but I think I don't want to push myself. You can use that one. What's going on for you for the next 2 weeks, mate?
Pretty much same thing I've been doing. Yep. More Blood Angels, more battle reports. We'll just get this thing really, really smooth.
Dialed in.
That's the plan. That's the plan. And then hopefully not too long after DreamHack, we do our first proper Battleforge Gaming battle report. Thinking about doing probably Arc inspired stuff, so 1350 points, because that's what my friends are working towards. So should be able to get Lockie.
Can we be expecting something other than Blood Angels Tyranids?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it'd be Lockie's Dark Angels, Alex with his Black Legion, which is going to be so good. To say Ash with his Astra Militarum. So yeah,
Ray.
Ray, yeah, yep. So that'll be the idea from the get go, and then we'll work towards 2K because 2K is a lot of work.
Mitch with his Nurgle.
Yeah, Mitch with his Death Guard. Yep.
Yeah, with my 6 models.
Yeah. 1350 is all you need.
Yeah, paint some
I've
big
got
ones.
Mortarion actually on the go.
Yeah.
So
paint some Death Shroud Terminators. Your points will rack up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I have those actually in sealed box.
Yeah,
Just
well,
looking at them.
If you want to film some battle reports,
All right.
we'll happily have you for sure. So
Sounds good.
yeah, thank you so much, Mitch from Tarantula Minis for joining us.
Cheers.
Been
Thank
an
you for
awesome
having me.
time.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks, BFG Justin, as always.
That's pretty easy for me to get here.
Yeah. And thank you guys for tuning in on Twitch. And this will be live later on YouTube and Spotify.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
guys. See you next time.
Ciao.